Good morning, game makers. Happy Monday. My goals this week are going to be to add a little bit of some of the game elements that you'd expect to see, like a GUI, keeping track of some global variables, including health, score, and lives, and making our game more of a finished product. But today I'm going to just focus on getting some health in our game. So in my control event, or control object, I've added a new event. Draw a GUI. And when you draw something on the GUI layer, it draws over everything else in your game. So you won't have any other objects that will be drawn on top of it. So if my plane flies under the GUI sprite, we will see it appear as if it's going underneath. So when you have something that's ultra important to always be seen by the player, choose to draw a GUI event. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a graphic or a sprite that is specific. I had to do some resizing to make it fit, but I'm going to put it, I didn't center it, so I'm going to leave the X at 0, and then I know it's 76 high, so I'm going to say room height minus 76. And what that's going to do is it's going to draw this graphic on our screen. So you can see at the bottom, it's got a place for a score, the title of the game, and then this little black box right here is going to be our health bar. But we can't have health if, or we don't need a health bar if we haven't kept track of health yet. So I'm going to go into my object player, and when it's created, I am going to set its health to 100. So it's maximum value. So I'm going to go ahead here and click on this plus so I can add a new variable. And when you'll notice as I start to type health, health is a built-in variable. And it's in GameMaker 1.4, it's actually a global. In GameMaker 2, I've read some of the documentation and they're looking to phase out built-in global variables, but they left in health just because they want games that were programmed before GameMaker 2 to still be able to work in GameMaker. Yeah, what if you made it 1.4? They still want it to work in 1. Or 2.0. So, anyways, health. I'm going to set it to 100. Now, right now, nothing can take away that health. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a collision with one of the enemies, and then probably the basic enemy, and that way some of that behavior will be parented. So let's go collision with the basic enemy. And right now, all I want to have happen is for some damage to happen to my player. I'm going to have to fine tune this later, no doubt about it. But when there's a collision, I'm going to go ahead and set my variable, and I'm going to set the variable health. Oops, misspelling. It's early in the morning, so they're using the built-in variable, and I'm going to minus 25 for now. Now, if I don't destroy the enemy that it collides with, then I'm going to end up losing all of my health every time it's collided, because it's going to take away 25 every frame that my player and my enemy are connected. So I need to destroy the other. So I'm going to go here and destroy the other instance in this collision, in this case the basic enemy. For looks, I'm going to go ahead and create an explosion right there. And so object explosion, I want it to be relative to the other. Oh, I guess I better do that first. Let me do that. So I'm going to go up here, other, so destroy the, you can see other wasn't an option before because I had already said to destroy it. So create an explosion at 0, 0 relative to the other, the basic enemy, on the instance layer, and then destroy that instance. So right now, we wouldn't be able to tell it was damaging us. So I'm going to go back to the object control, and I'm going to add to draw a health bar. So I got to go down here, draw health bar. Now I've already done a little bit of the work behind the scenes here, because getting the health bar perfectly lined up with your GUI or your graphic user interface is a little bit of a dog. You have to move it see what it looks like, move it. So I'm going to save you the trouble of watching me figure that out. The value is not going to be 100, but instead I want the value to be equal to health. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I know that I want the left to be 13 pixels from the left of the screen. The top, or where is the top of the health bar going to be? That's actually going to be at room height minus 29. The right side of the health bar is going to be at 135, and the bottom is going to be room height minus 24. Now, there's some other options here. What do I want the background of the health bar to be? I'm going to say I want it to be black. The outline, I'm going to leave white, I think. The minimum color, or the color as it approaches, as my player approaches running out of health, I want to be red. And then the maximum color when I'm at full health, I think green would look good. These two colors will mix as I get lower in health. So right now I have my GUI drawn and I have a health bar. And because of a collision, so a collision with the basic enemy, I should lose some health every time I collide. Now I don't have any event to say, okay, what happens if I have no more health? But we'll deal with that in a different video. So I'm going to go ahead and play my game. You can see my health bar is drawn in green, and actually it looks like either I collided too many times or I have some sort of bug in my game. So create an explosion, destroy the instance of the other. All right, let me try that one more time. Maybe it worked fine and I just don't know it. So here comes enemy one, collide, and it does take away all of my health. That's not what I want. And the reason is because it automatically set my health to negative 25, not 25 relative. Holy cow, what a mistake. Let me try that again. You can bet that's going to be on your quiz. So hopefully you realize the value of relative. Okay, you can see it reduces my health. So my health bar is working. And once I get down to 0, you can see it's all in black. So that's adding health. Health is a built-in global variable. If I try to use health for any other purpose in my game, it would actually crash the game and give me an error. Health can only be applied to the player, and because it's a global variable, if I had the collision in one of my enemies and said health minus 25, it would still know that that health applies to the player. There are two other global variables. This will be on your quiz. You should write it down. Health, lives, and score. And we're going to go ahead and add lives and score later this week. Thanks for watching. Hope it was entertaining.